Okay. So today, we will start a discussion of 5-year question paper. Good evening, Ipshita. How are you? So we'll start the discussion of 5-year question paper, which is very important. And before even, going there, I would like to tell you something. Okay. See, now let us suppose that you are preparing for, uh, you know, 5-year exam. So what you have to do is like you have to solve all the question papers. Like it might be 3-year or 5-year or AP or TS because the topics are same. Marking style is also same and questions are also by and large the same. So you should not miss out on this particular thing. Good evening, Ronak. How are you? So you have to solve 23 questions. Sorry, 23 question papers which are there in that book. Okay. So I will discuss them also. Okay. So I will be discussing the legal part. Okay. So Rajesh sir will be discussing GK part. Okay. So current affairs, you need not solve the questions because they are already outdated. I told you already. Now in 2019, if there are questions from the current affairs section, because current affairs is in section B. Okay. So section B, you need not read it. I mean, you need not solve every question. You just go through it so that you'll get an idea about the type of questions. That's it. Okay. So first, let us look at the first question. Dash constitutional amendment discontinued the nomination of 2 Anglo-Indian members to Lok Sabha. Right. So these Anglo-Indian members are Indians only, right? But they have English or European descent, which means they belong to English or European blood. Okay. So when Britishers came to India, they stayed in India and they became Indians. Okay. So now they are there in India. They have Indian citizenship. They're completely Indians, no doubt about it. And previously, for these Anglo-Indians, we were giving 2 seats in Lok Sabha. 2 seats in Lok Sabha and 1 seat in state assemblies. Okay. At the state level, we were giving them, in Lok Sabha, we were giving them 2 seats. So Lok Sabha is at the union level, right, in the parliament. And state assembly is our state assembly. 1 seat we were giving. Now, we brought a constitutional amendment and we discontinued this reservation to them. Now, what is the meaning of constitutional amendment? That is to make a change in the constitution, right? So under which article you can change? Under article 368. Okay. So you can, you have to remember this particular thing. Under which article constitution can be amended? It is article 368. Now, by which amendment Anglo-Indian reservation was discontinued? Can you guess the answer? Very good, Ganeshwari. Well done. So 104, right? What is the meaning of 104th amendment? It means that 104th time the constitution was changed. Okay. So as of today, how many times we made changes in our constitution? As of today, we made 106 times. Okay. So 106 times as of today, right? So tomorrow, if Parliament brings a constitutional amendment, the number will change. But as of today, and I think it will be the same till your exam, right? Because now we have Lok Sabha election, so no chance of constitutional amendment. So you can remember that there are 106 amendments till date. In the exam, they'll ask this question: how many amendments were done till date? How many? 106. Now, by 104th amendment, we have removed this particular, status, Anglo-Indian reservation to these people. Now, we also have to discuss about other important amendments, when we are discussing this question, especially from 101 to 106. Now, if you look at 101, 101st amendment introduced GST. Earlier, there were many taxes at the state level and also at the central level. But now what we did, we brought it under only single taxation, that is known as GST, Goods and Services Tax. Right. Next, you look at 102nd Amendment. 102nd Amendment has given constitutional status to NCBC. Constitutional status to NCBC. What is NCBC? National Commission for Backward Classes. NCBC is National Commission for Backward Classes. Earlier, NCBC was a statutory body. It means it was made by ordinary law. So whenever I say that something is a statutory body, it means that by ordinary law it is created. But now we gave constitutional status, which means that we gave some place for it in the constitution and we added it by 102nd amendment. Okay. Next comes 103rd amendment. 103rd amendment has provided for EWS reservation. EWS reservation. What is the meaning of EWS? EWS means economically weaker sections. Economically weaker sections. Now, economically weaker sections from which community? From the general community, right? So earlier, we were not providing reservation based on economic status, right? Reservation is provided only based on social and educational backwardness, primarily social backwardness, right? What is the meaning of social backwardness? Which means socially they were exploited or they were there backward in the previous years, right? So do you think it is possible to determine economic backwardness?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right. But do you think that is constant? Do you think that is constant?
No, sir.
No, right. Because see, now let us suppose that you are born in a particular caste. Okay. Let us call it as some X caste you are born. Till your death, you will be in this caste only. So there is no chance of movement or no chance of change in that. But you look at economic status. Today you are poor. Okay. So I gave you reservation. Tomorrow you will work hard and you will become rich. So no need of economic reservation for you. Right. So earlier, the concept of economic reservation was not there. But by 103rd amendment, we have introduced this particular thing. Sharon, you are not there here in the offline class? Okay. So next.
No, sir.
Okay. 104, as I told you, removed Anglo-Indian reservation. Okay. 105, very important amendment again. See, what happened is that earlier states, that is our general states like Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, they have the power to determine who is socially and educationally backward classes. But later what happened is that the center took it away. The central government took that power. Now by introducing 105th amendment, the power was restored to states, which means that now states will determine, states are given the power to identify socially and educationally backward classes in that particular state. Okay, that is 105. And 106, very recent amendment. Can somebody tell me what is that? Very recent amendment. Very recent is like
IPC and CRPC.
Yes, ma'am. What is that?
IPC, CRPC changes in
No, that is not amendment. That is like that has nothing to do with constitution, no?
Reserve 1/3
Sir,
seats
CAA.
for
Very good,
women.
very good. Who is that? Very good, Ganeshwari. Well done. So 1/3 reservation, 1/3 seats reservation for women in Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies. In both parliament, that is only in Lok Sabha, and in state assembly, 1/3 seats we are reserving for women. And within this 1/3, there is reservation for SC as well. Now, let me give you a very simple example. Now, let us suppose that I have given 1/3 seats. 1/3 seats I have reserved for women. Out of that, within the women seats, you have to reserve for women SC community people, right? So without actually affecting the general structure, out of this only you will reserve, not anything extra. Okay. So out of this 1/3, within this 1/3 for SC community also, you are reserving the seats for SC women. Okay. So these are the top 6 amendments which you have to remember from exam point of view. These are like recent. Okay. And when you look at landmark ones, you have to remember what is 42nd amendment, 44th amendment. That also I will discuss in the class. Don't worry. Okay. So you have to remember this thing, take down the notes. If you did not take down the notes, after going home, you watch the recording and take down the notes for this one. Okay. Next. Look at the second question. Which of the following high courts exercises jurisdiction over the Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar Islands? So which means that which high court can deal with the cases related to Andaman and Nicobar Islands Union Territory? Can you tell me what is the answer? I think very good, Ipsita. Well done. Very good. Ganeshwari, Avinash. Very good, guys. Well done. So here, I'll tell you a very simple trick to remember. See, where do you think Andaman and Nicobar Islands are there? They are somewhere over here. So they would fall under Calcutta High Court, which is somewhere over here. Because generally union territories, they don't have their own high court. So what they'll go? Here, these states are nearest, but we are going to Calcutta High Court. Here, there is a union territory. What is that? Very good. Lakshadweep. So Lakshadweep falls under Kerala High Court. Right. Lakshadweep, Kerala High Court, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Calcutta High Court. You have to remember this. Okay. So which High Court is this? Calcutta High Court is the right answer. Next. Absolute liability. I think we discussed it in law of torts. Don't worry if you did not attend that class. I'll explain it again. What is the meaning of absolute liability? Anybody in the class? So in absolute liability, what happens is that a person is liable for no fault of it, no fault of his, which means even though his fault is not there, he will be made liable. That is why what it is saying, absolute liability, right? Whether your mistake is there or not, it is completely immaterial, you will be liable. In which cases this will happen? Whenever you are holding any hazardous substance and you are making profit out of it. Now, let us say, for example, I think you might have studied this case in your smaller classes, which is known as Bhopal gas tragedy. Ever heard this before? Okay, I'll tell you the story. So what happened is that in, somewhere around 1992 or somewhere around that, there is a factory in Bhopal, which is known as Union Carbide Factory. Okay. So in this factory, what happened is that there is a leakage of one gas. The name of the gas is methyl isocyanate. Now, due to the leakage of this gas, methyl isocyanate, the entire city of Bhopal turned into a gas chamber, and the people who are living nearby, they have died, and it has affected the environment, and a lot of people suffered from injuries. Now, the Union Carbide company came to the court and told that, see, due to some mistake that has come up, so you give us some exception. Court said, no. Whenever you are making profit by keeping hazardous substance, you have to take every single care. You cannot say that that fellow has removed the valve, or, there is a power cut, that is why this has leaked out. So these type of excuses will not be entertained whatsoever, right? So in absolute liability, whether your fault is there or not, it might be your employee's fault, or it might be some third person's fault. Third person has come into your factory and he opened the seal. As a result, the gas might have come out, right? In such case also, you will be absolutely liable, no exceptions whatsoever, okay? And there is other thing, which is known as strict liability, okay? So in strict liability, what happens is that there are some exceptions. Here also you are liable without your fault, but some exceptions are given, like, act of God. Act of God is known as vis major. So it means that whenever there is a natural calamity and some damage happens to other person, then you can claim exception, right? When third party does mistake. So in strict liability, you will get exceptions, but in absolute liability, you are absolutely liable. No exceptions will be given to you, okay? In which case absolute liability was evolved? So it was evolved in a case which is known as MC Mehta versus Union of India, right? So the concept of absolute liability was given by the Indian Supreme Court only, right? Whereas the concept of strict liability is given by the English court, in which case Reliance versus Fletcher. In Reliance versus Fletcher, the concept of strict liability was evolved. But Supreme Court told that this strict liability will not apply in India. So we will apply only the concept of absolute liability. Okay. So that is again important. Next question. Yeah, very important case again. Nalsa versus Union of India 2014 case is related to what? So it is related to recognition of transgenders as third gender, right? So who are transgenders? I already explained you. Once again, I will tell you, right? So transgender is a person who is in conflict with the sex which is assigned at the time of birth. Okay. Now, if some X person is born as a male, but he is identifying himself as a female, and he is just chopping off his penis and undergoing some surgery and becoming a female. So then he is considered as transgender. Same applies for women as well, right? So that is known as transgender. So recognition of transgender as third gender, because what are the two genders which are there? Male and female. So transgenders are recognized as third gender, in which case NALSA versus Union of India. What is the full form of NALSA? They will ask in the exam. National Legal Services Authority. National Legal Services Authority. Okay. So that is one thing. If you go to Metropolitan Criminal Court, which is in Nampally, there you will find District Legal Services Authority, right, at the district level. Now you look at the second one, recognition of same-sex marriages. So same-sex marriages, they were recognized in Navtej Singh Johar case. Navtej Singh Johar case. In this case, same-sex marriages were recognized. Okay. So marital rape, it is not an offense in India. What is the meaning of marital rape? Yeah, so during marriage, which means that let us say that X and Y are married, and if X is committing rape on Y, then that is not an offense in India. Okay, so marital rape is not an offense. So inside the marriage, if there is a rape, then that will not amount to an offense. Next, decriminalization of adultery. What is the meaning of adultery? Adultery is having an illicit relationship outside of marriage, right? So if A and B are married, right, and let us suppose that B is a woman, and if woman is having sexual intercourse with another man, let us call him as C, without the permission of husband, then that is known as adultery. Okay, so adultery is a sexual relationship outside of marriage. It is not rape. Okay, you have to remember this thing. This is consensual sex only, which means that both the women and the other man who is not the woman's husband, they are having sex without husband's permission, and this is with their consent, not rape. So if it is rape, then that is a rape which is under section 376 of IPC. So but adultery was decriminalized in which case? Joseph Shine versus Union of India. Joseph Shine versus Union of India. So these cases you have to remember. Okay. Next. Very important question, because this is there in the news also. Who was the first women judge of the Supreme Court of India? Any guess?
Justice M. Fatima Bibi.
Very good, very good. Justice M. Fatima Bibi. So she is the first women judge of Supreme Court. You have to write this down in your notebook. Okay. Very recently she died. Okay. Very recently she died. She is from Kerala. She died very recently. Hence, there are very good chances that this question will repeat in the exam. Okay. There are very good chances that this question will repeat in the exam. Okay. Now I'll ask you another question. Who is the first women chief justice of a high court? Any answer? So it is Justice Lawcet. She was the first Chief Justice of Delhi High Court. Okay. This is also very important question, right? So like this, they'll ask questions in the exam, like who is the first women governor of a state in India? It is Sarojini Naidu. Okay. So she was the governor of Uttar Pradesh. Similarly, first women Chief Justice of a High Court is Justice Lawcet. And first women judge of Supreme Court is Justice Fatima Bibi, right? Another interesting fact, I'll give it to you. Who is the woman who is expected to become the Chief Justice of India in 2027? There's one woman She is expected to become the Chief Justice of India in the upcoming years. So it is Justice B.V. Nagaratna. Okay. She is all set to become the Chief Justice of India very soon. First women CJI, right? So as of today, we did not have even a single women Chief Justice. Judges were there, right? Indu Malhotra was there, Indra Banerjee was there, Bhanumati was there. But Chief Justice, we did not have. Chief Justice is the biggest judge in entire India. We did not get that, but very soon, Justice B.V. Nagaratna will become the Chief Justice of India. Very important question. This also they'll ask in the exam. Next, very important question again. Which article of the Indian Constitution deals with right to protection against arrest and detention in certain cases? Right. So what is the right answer? The answer is Article 22, right? Under Article 22, certain protections are given to you whenever you are arrested. What are they? Number one, within 24 hours, you should be submitted before the magistrate. That means before the court, you should be submitted within 24 hours, excluding travel time. Excluding travel time. Removing the travel time, within 24 hours, if you are arrested by the police, you should be presented before the court. Okay, that is one thing. Second one, grounds of arrest should be communicated, right? Why you arrested me? You should ask the police when they are arresting you, why did you arrest me? Then police will tell you that on so and so grounds you have committed murder, so I have arrested you. They have to tell you the grounds. Other thing is that you have the right to consult your legal practitioner, right? So right to consult your legal practitioner to defend your case, right? You can approach your lawyer and he will file the case on your behalf. That is, these protections are there under which article? Article 22. Under Article 22, there are two types of arrests or two types of detention. What are they? First one is punitive detention. What is the meaning of punitive detention? So punitive detention means that after committing the crime, you are arrested and you are taken by the police. That this is the general arrest, right? So generally, when will the police take you to the jail? Only when an allegation is made that you have committed some XYZ thing. Otherwise, they'll not come to you. Second one is known as preventive detention. Preventive detention. Now, in preventive detention, what happens is that you did not commit any offense, but to prevent you from committing the offense, they will take you and keep you in the jail. Are you understanding this thing? So in preventive detention, even before committing the arrest, they will keep you before the jail. And when you are arrested under preventive detention law, within 24 hours, you need not be submitted before the court. For 3 months, they'll keep you in the jail without taking before the court. And they can extend it for another 3 months also, if a high court judge committee recommends it. Okay, so that is one thing. And what is Article 20? Article 20 grants certain protections with respect to conviction of offenses. 3 protections are there. No ex post facto, no double jeopardy, no self-incrimination. Don't worry if you don't understand anything, I will explain it once again. First, what is the meaning of no ex post facto? Ex post facto, which means post the fact, after the fact has happened. Okay. Now, if Ashrita has committed an offense on 18th March, okay, let us suppose that she has taken away the eraser of somebody. And the fine for it on 18th March is 7 hours in jail. Okay. But police caught her on 20th March. On 20th March, what happened is that the punishment increased to 70 hours. Now, what do you think Ashrita will be liable for? 7 hours punishment or 70 hours punishment? Why? Because at the time of commission of offense, when you have committed the offense, what is the punishment? 7 hours. So that only will be applicable. After the fact, that is after committing the offense, whatever is given, that is not applicable. No ex post facto. That is known as no ex post facto. Second one is no double jeopardy. No double jeopardy is no double arrest. Now you have taken away the eraser on 18th March. For the same offense, they have kept you in the jail for 7 hours. Again, they cannot keep you in the jail for 7 hours. Okay. So that is no double jeopardy. Third one is no self-incrimination. So this is generally done by the police. So whenever you are convicted, whenever you are, accused of any offense, right? Then police will force you to tell that, okay, you agree that you have committed this particular offense. So self-incrimination is forcing yourself to be a witness against yourself. The police will come and force you and will tell that you agree that, you be a witness against yourself. You tell that, okay, I have committed the offense. So self-incrimination is also not allowed. You cannot force the victim to say that I have committed the offense. If he has committed, he will tell you. Otherwise, you should not force. Okay. That is Article 20. Now come to 21. 21 is right to life. Very good, Ipsita. Well done. Right to life and personal liberty. Okay. So right to life is there under Article 21. And 23 is, 23 and 24. Both of them would fall under rights against exploitation. And 23 prohibits forced labor, begar, right? So begar is, forced labor, slavery, right? All of these things are not allowed according to Article 23. What is 24? Prohibition of child labor. Okay. So 23 is applicable for everything, any kind of human trafficking. So 23 is prohibition of human trafficking and forced labor. What is human trafficking? Human trafficking is trading human beings, smuggling them, right? So it can be anyone, male, female, or children. So these kind of things are not allowed, right, under Article 23. Next. Incognizable offense. So what happens in cognizable offense? Try to answer this question. In cognizable offense, the police. No, Dikshita, you answered it otherwise, actually.
Option is number 2, sir.
Very good, Mukesh. Well done. So the police may arrest a person without warrant, right? So what is the meaning of cognizable offense? Cognizable offense means that police can take cognizance of the matter without any warrant from the court. Warrant is issued by the court, right? Now, court issues something which is known as arrest warrant. It means that go and arrest this person. Search warrant, go and search this person's house. Okay. So even without the permission from the court, the police can arrest you when in cognizable offenses. What are cognizable offenses? Cognizable offenses are those offenses which are very serious in nature. So whenever somebody has committed a serious offense, should you wait for the magistrate's order or should you arrest him immediately so that he'll not tamper the evidence or he'll not commit it again? So you have to arrest him. So that is why he will be arrested. Now, I'll ask you another question. You try to answer it. In non-cognizable offenses, what will happen? In non-cognizable offense, you choose the option from here. Shall not arrest, right? So that is option 1. Okay. So whenever it is a non-cognizable offense, it means that it is less serious offense, right? So whenever it is less serious, police should not arrest you without proper warrant. Okay. That is very important. And non-cognizable offenses are less serious in nature. Next, in-camera proceedings. What is the meaning of in-camera proceedings? See, there are certain matters in the court which are of very private nature. Maybe, a very private family dispute or something like that. So that happens in the, very good, guys. So it is known as private hearing, which means that the media persons or maybe other general public, they will not be allowed into the court when very sensitive, matters are being discussed. So inside the room, we will lock the room and inside we will discuss. That is known as in-camera proceedings. That is private hearing, right? So generally, in all other cases, the cases are held in an open court. Open court means that everybody will be there and we will pronounce the judgment. But in some very sensitive cases, it might be see, it can be a personal matter, right? See, now let us say, for example, it is a matter of sexual assault on a child, right? So we will not discuss it publicly in front of everyone. So what we will do, we will discuss it in a closed. Clear, Ganeshwari? I think yes. Next. Yeah. What is the meaning of extradition? Now, extradition is a concept in international law. Okay. Now, what happens if there is a person? Let us suppose that there is a person A and B. This is a country A and this is a country B. Sorry. Now, Samad belongs to a country A. Now, he committed an offense. He committed a murder in country A. Okay. And now he is in country B. Now Samad is in country B. How will I get that person from country B? Because in country B, very good, guys. You have guessed it right. So in country B, there are different laws. Our police might or might not go. So in such cases, the concept of extradition is there. So extradition means that the transportation of accused or offender with mutual understanding between two countries. So I will call the country B and tell that, see, dear country B, there is one person, he is a very serial criminal. He has committed this offense. You help me in, holding him. You arrest him for some time. I will come and take him, and then we will take him over here, right? So it is transportation of the accused or offender with mutual understanding between two countries, right? So that is what you have to remember. Next one. Very important question. Every year, this in 2023 paper, 2 questions he asked from writs itself, right? So we will talk about that. A writ by court to a person or body of persons to compel it to perform some public duty is called. Very good.
Mandamus.
Very good. Well done. So it is known as mandamus. What is the meaning of mandamus? We command. Right. When mandamus is, what is the meaning of writ? So writ is basically an order which is issued by the court when your fundamental rights are violated. Now, what is the writ of mandamus? The writ of mandamus means that whenever a public official, right, look at this one, public duty. So who will perform public duty? Public officer, right? Whenever a public officer is not doing his duty, and as a result, a person's fundamental rights are violated, then what the person can do, he can go directly to the Supreme Court. Whenever your fundamental rights are violated, you can directly go to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court will issue a writ of mandamus. He will tell, the Supreme Court will tell to the principal of Government High School Somajiguda that, dear principal of Government High School Somajiguda, you admit this child into your school. Otherwise, it is a violation of right to education, which is his fundamental right. So whenever a public official is not doing his public duty, then court will issue the writ of mandamus. Mandamus means we command or do your duty, right? So that is known as mandamus. Now, other writs are also given over here. Let us talk about that as well. Quo warranto. Quo warranto means by what authority? What does that mean? It means that whenever a public official is sitting in an office where he is actually not eligible or where he is not at all, a part of it, right? Now, our former Chief Minister KCR, he is functus officio, which means he is no longer having power or jurisdiction, right? Now, if he comes and sits in the secretariat and starts signing on the paper, do you think it is legal? No. Then court will issue a writ. Quo warranto. By what authority you are sitting there? By what authority you are signing on those papers? That is known as quo warranto. Second one is habeas corpus. Corpus means body. Okay. So habeas corpus is to present the body, right? So whenever you are arrested, within 24 hours, you should be submitted before the magistrate, before the lower court. If you are not submitted before the lower court within 24 hours, then you can directly go to the Supreme Court and ask the Supreme Court to issue the writ of habeas corpus, right? Very good, very good. Then you have prohibition. What is prohibition? Prohibition is an order which is issued by a higher court, right? What is the meaning of higher court? Higher court can be High Court or Supreme Court to a lower court. Lower court is all the subordinate courts in India. Okay, family court, junior civil judge ka court, metropolitan criminal court, all the small courts. Higher court will issue a writ to smaller court to stop the ongoing proceeding. Pro is proceeding. Lower court is discussing some case, but that is a case in which lower court does not have actual power, or there is a proper constitutional matter which has to be dealt by the higher court. Then what the court will do? Court will issue the order of prohibition. You stop it, we will take up that particular thing. Okay, so that is known as prohibition. So you can watch the fundamental rights chapter once again, wherein I have explained all the writs in a greater detail. Okay, so but this much is enough for your exam point of view. Next, in lieu of. What is the meaning of in lieu of? In lieu of is in place of or instead of. Very good. It's very good. In the exam, he'll give two options: in place of or instead of. Right. So in lieu of coffee, I took tea. Okay. Or maybe in lieu of non-veg, I took veg. So in lieu of is in place of or instead of. Right. That is very important. Legal maxim. Next, very important question again. Who can file an election petition in India? What is the meaning of election petition? So any petition, which means any case in the court related to election. Right. Who can file? What do you think is the answer? Very good, Ipsita. Well done. Right. So who can do first? It can be an elector. What is the meaning of elector? Elector is a person who is casting the vote, who is electing, or a candidate. Candidate is a person who is contesting, right? So these two people can file a petition if they feel that there is a malpractice during election, right? And one more supplementary question. Where can you file election petitions in India? Where can you file? Election Commission, okay? Any other answer? Avinash, you are 50% correct, 50% wrong. Okay, so the answer is High Court. Okay, so election petition can be filed in the High Court. Very good, Ganeshwari. Well done. Next one. Yeah. Entry to a person's land without permission is called. Very good. Right. So it is known as trespass. What is trespass? Trespass is entering into somebody's property without their permission. Right. So then you know what is assault. What is the meaning of assault? So assault is threatening somebody or creating fear in their mind. In assault, you are not causing any physical harm to them. You are just threatening. You're just showing them that I'll throw this bottle, but I'm not actually throwing. So when I'm showing that I'll throw this bottle, a fear is created in your mind, right? That is assault. What is mischief? Mischief is misbehavior, misbehaving with someone, right? Criminal misappropriation. What is criminal misappropriation? Criminal misappropriation is that you are appropriating somebody's property without their permission. In trespass, what you are doing? You are entering into somebody's property. But let us suppose that this is a, this is a workshop where the cars are cleaned, right? I'm just washing the cars. Now what the owner did, he placed his car over here. Now the car is in my possession, which means in my property, because I am the owner of this particular thing. So what I did is that I took away this car and I went to Delhi without the permission of this fellow. Then what will that become? That becomes criminal misappropriation. You are appropriating his property without his consent, right? So that's it. Very important question again. Who is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha?
Vice President.
Very good, guys. Vice President of India. What is the meaning of ex officio chairman? So ex officio means that whoever is assuming that particular office, he will automatically become some other thing. Like Vice President is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha, which means that whoever becomes the Vice President will automatically become the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Prime Minister is the ex officio chairman of Niti Aayog. Right? In economics, you might have studied about Niti Aayog. Right? So it means that whoever becomes the Prime Minister will automatically become the chairman of Niti Aayog. So ex officio is by the virtue of office. Because you are holding an office, you are becoming the head of some other office. Okay? Very good, Deekshita. Well done. Next one. Yeah. Dongue versus Stevenson. I'm really sorry, but I did not discuss this case in your class. In Telugu batch, I discussed about it. But anyway, I'll talk about it now. So what happens in this case? This case is actually related to negligence. Okay. So in this case, what happens is that there is a person who purchases a beer bottle like this, but it is brown in color. Right. Now, whenever you purchase a bottle of beer, which is brown in color, what will you expect inside? Beer, obviously. Now, this bottle is purchased by a person known as A, and he gifted it to his friend who is known as B. Now, B is actually drinking this particular bottle. What she did, she opened the bottle and she drank, maybe a sip of it. Then later what she did, she poured it into a glass. Right. Later she poured it into a glass. And when she poured it into the glass, she found that there is a snail in it. Right. You know what is a snail? Right. Snail is there inside, this particular thing. Now the question is she eligible to file a case before the court? Because who purchased the bottle? A. A is the owner. Now B is using it. Right. So can B file the case? That was the question here in the case. In Dongue versus Stevenson. In Dongue versus Stevenson, the English court gave a couple of observations. First thing, the product manufacturer, whoever is manufacturing the product, if there is a defect in his product, right, in the manufacturer's product, if there is a defect, by default, it means that there is his negligence. First thing, right? By default, whenever there is a snail in the bottle, it means that it is your negligence. You did not see it properly. And pay attention here again. Another principle was evolved in this particular case that is known as neighbor principle. Neighbor principle. So in the Telugu batch, I talked about it, but here I'll discuss, don't worry. So in neighbor principle, what happens is that who is a neighbor according to the law? So neighbor is actually a person who will be affected by your acts. Now, A purchased the beer bottle and he gave it to B, which means that B might be affected if there is a problem in the bottle, right? So neighbor includes all those people who might be affected by your act. So now B was allowed to file a case using the neighbor principle because she is affected because of that act. So that's how she was allowed. Okay. So in the exam, they'll ask this question. Who is neighbor in the definition of law? It is all those people who will be affected by your action. Neighbor is not your physical immediate neighbor, right? So it is the people who might be affected by your action. Clear? Next. Now, what is the meaning of defamation?
Sir, it is related to reputation, where your reputation is damaged.
Defamation is taking away somebody's fame or reputation, right? So you are insulting or you're abusing them, in front of somebody else, and the reputation is getting damaged, or you are making false allegations against them. As a result, their reputation is being damaged, right? That is one thing. Another one is here, battery. What is the meaning of battery?
Use of force.
What?
Use of force.
On whom? Yeah. So battery is basically using physical force. In assault, there is no physical force. Physically, you are not harming anybody. But in battery, the moment you touch somebody with this remote, it becomes battery. When you're just causing a fear that, okay, I will hit you, right? So then that is assault. The moment you hit him, it becomes battery. So battery is using physical force against someone. Very good. Next. Next one. Yeah, very important question again. The Governor General, who is known as Liberator of Press. This is during British India. Who is known as Liberator of Press? Any guess? Of course, I did not discuss it in the class, either in your batch or in the other batch. No.
William Bentek, I feel, sir.
Yeah, but no. So the answer is Charles Metcalfe, right? So Charles Metcalfe, he is known as Liberator of Press. When he was the Governor General, a lot of newspapers were, introduced, right? So he gave a lot of press freedom. That is why he is known as the Liberator of Press, right? So press here is the media, right? So at that time it was newspaper. So he encouraged newspaper, he allowed for printing and all. That is why he is known as the Liberator of Press. So I think, who is William Bentinck? So William Bentinck, he is the first Governor General of Bengal. Sorry, first Governor General of India. First Governor General of India. Warren Hastings, he is the first Governor General of Bengal. Right. So Dalhousie, so he was, one of the British administrator who was there, who is known for introducing a doctrine which is known as the doctrine of lapse. Right. So doctrine of lapse. Right. So I think Rajesh sir might have talked about it in the previous class. Father of modern India, I'm not really sure about it, but he is known for introducing, the doctrine of lapse, wherein if you don't have, your a legal heir, which means if you don't have a son, your property will be lapsed, which means that there is no successor and it will be taken up by the British government, according to Dalhousie, according to his doctrine of lapse. I'm not sure, Dikshita, you just post it once in the doubt solving group. Rajesh sir will be able to answer it. Okay. Next. Because history I don't deal with. So who among the following is the author of the book Off the Bench? Yeah, what is the answer?
Krishna Iyer.
Very good, very good. Well done. So Justice Krishna Iyer, he is the author of the book Off the Bench, right? So Krishna Iyer is one of the judges who proactively promoted something that is known as PIL. So PIL is public interest litigation. What is public interest litigation? What is public interest litigation? So public interest litigation is basically a case which is filed by somebody who does not have specific interest in the case. See, now let us suppose that Samad has caused some harm to Ronak. Then who has to file the case? Ronak has to go and file the case because he's an interested party here, because his rights are affected. Now, do you think Thrinath can go and file a case? No. Right. That is against the principle of locus standi. Right. So locus standi means only the aggrieved party can go and file the case. So locus is like, who are you in the case? What is your position in the case? But sometimes an exception is given to this principle where even if you are not involved in the case, you can go and file a case. Right. This generally happens, in public problems. Whenever there is a public problem. Now you look at Taj Mahal or Ganga water. Right. Ganga water is whose property? It is public property, nobody's property, right? So nobody's property, it is not actually nobody's property, it is everybody's property, right? So when it is everybody's property, there is no owner for it, right? So when it is everybody's property, nobody is interested in it to protect it, right? So that is how there was an environmental lawyer who is known as MC Mehta, right? So MC Mehta, he went to the Supreme Court and he filed a case saying that Ganga water is getting polluted. Now, MC Mehta is not the owner of Ganga water, but Supreme Court entertained him because it is a PIL. To protect the public interest, he went and he filed a case, and Supreme Court told that right to clean drinking water is a part of right to life. Okay, so PIL is public interest litigation where you can file a case even if you are not a party to it, right? Next, who is the custodian of the Constitution, which means who is the protector of the
Supreme Court.
Constitution?
Supreme Court.
Very good, very good. Well done. Supreme Court is the right answer. Next, which of the following is not a fundamental duty of a citizen?
To safeguard public property.
So, to no, ma, that is not the answer. Very good. To pay income tax is not a fundamental duty. Yeah. So to pay income tax is not a fundamental duty, because what are fundamental duties? First, you have to understand that fundamental duties are those duties which are mentioned in Part 4A of the Indian Constitution. How many fundamental duties are there? 11 fundamental duties are there. Out of 11 fundamental duties, paying income tax is not a part of it. Okay. To protect and improve natural environment is a part. Safeguarding public property and stopping violence is also a part of it. Thank you. So that is also a part of it. And to defend the country whenever country is requiring your service, that is also a part of it, right? But paying income tax is not a part of this duty. Okay. Next, look at this question. Very important. If you have paid attention in my class, you will answer it correctly. Who among the following presided over the first meeting of Constituent Assembly? The first meeting.
Rajendra Prasad.
No. Very good, Avinash, you got it right. Dr. Sachidananda Sinha. Who is Sachidananda Sinha? He is the first temporary president of Constituent Assembly. He is the first temporary president of Constituent Assembly. Now, why this temporary president was appointed? To elect the actual president, right? So temporary president, he sat in the chair and he had very good, Ipsita, well done. Yeah, he was an ad hoc president, or he was a temporary president. And later he elected the full-time president, that is Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad is the president of, he's the chairman of Constituent Assembly, and he's also the first president of India, right? So this you have to remember. Many people, those who don't attend the class, they will answer it as Ambedkar. Any question related to Constitution, right? So the answer is Sachidananda Sinha, right? You have to remember this. Next. The oldest high court in India. Very interesting question.
Calcutta.
Calcutta.
Very good, guys. Very good. Excellent. Right. So Calcutta, actually Calcutta, Bombay, Allahabad, all of these high courts were established in the same year, but in different months. In 1862 only they were established. Okay. But this Calcutta High Court was the first one. So this was established on 1st July, 1862. Okay. 1st July 1862, Calcutta High Court was established. And one more date you have to remember, that is 14th August, one day before our independence, not on that day, but in 1862. On this day, which High Court was established? Bombay High Court was established. Okay. All of them were established in the same year. Under which act? The High Courts Act. High Courts Act of 1861 provided for the establishment of these courts, the high courts which are there, right? Which means that these high courts were born before independence itself, right? Supreme Court was also there before independence only, during British time period. Yeah, very important and most repeated question in the exam. The Electoral College for the President of India consists of. Now, what is the meaning of Electoral College? The people who are taking part in the presidential election. So, who are taking part in the presidential election?
Lok Sabha members, Rajya Sabha members.
Legislative Assembly of all states and all union territory. Option 3, sir.
Very good, very good. Elected members is very important. Okay. If he simply give members of Lok Sabha, wrong. Elected members of Lok Sabha, elected members of Rajya Sabha, elected members of legislative assemblies of states, and elected members of legislative assemblies of union territory, if union territory has an assembly, right? Who are not a part? Who are not a part? This can also be a question in the exam. Who are not a part? Number 1, nominated members in Rajya Sabha. Nominated members in Rajya Sabha. Members of Legislative Council and nominated members in Legislative Assembly, if there are any. But I think there are no nominated members as such here in Assembly because we removed that Anglo-Indian reservation, right? Non-elected members, right? Non-elected members are not allowed, right? So nominated members of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and assemblies, they are not allowed, right? Who are allowed? Elected members of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, assemblies. Only they are allowed. This question was asked multiple times in the exam. I think I showed it in the PYQ, right? Next, the estimates committee of the Indian Parliament consists of how many members? What is estimates committee? If you have attended Parliament chapter by Rajesh sir, you'll be able to answer. So estimate committee looks into the budgetary allocations or estimates which are given by various departments, right? Finance department, home department, they'll give an estimate that we have to take some 300 crores from the government money. So that estimates are decided by which, committee? Estimates committee. How many members are there? 30 members. Very good. Yes, you can leave. So we have, I think, another 20 or 20 odd questions. Next, 84, the boundary line between India and China, right? Between
MC
India and
Mohan
China.
line. Sir, second option.
McMahon line, right? So McMahon line is the boundary line between India and China. Okay. Next, you look at this thing, Radcliffe line. What is this Radcliffe line? It is dividing what? Radcliffe line is a boundary line between India and Pakistan. You write this down in your notebook. Other option they'll ask in the exam. Okay. Next, what is Indira Point? Indira Point is very interesting. Indira Point is the southernmost tip of India. Southernmost tip of India. Now it is not there. It is submerged, right? It is there in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, in the Great Nicobar Islands. So in the Nicobar Islands, it is there, and now it is submerged. It is not there. It is named after our former Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi. Okay, so that is one thing. Durant line is a line which demarcates the boundary between Afghanistan and Pakistan. Between Afghanistan and Pakistan, the Durant line is there, right? So this is also very important again. Okay. Yeah. Remember these boundary lines, they'll ask you in the exam. Next one. Arun instigates Balu to murder Kumar, which means that Arun is telling to Balu that, hey, Balu, you go and kill Kumar. Okay. Balu refuses to do so. Balu is saying, no, I will not do it. Now, Arun is guilty of what? Very good. He's guilty of abatement. What is the meaning of abatement? Abatement is to encourage somebody or to provoke somebody to do something. Right. So now what Arun has done? Arun has provoked Balu to go and kill Kumar. Right. So then that becomes abatement. Very good, guys. Very good. Next. Minimum age required to contest for the office of president is
35 years.
35.
very good. 35 years is minimum age. 25 for whom? 25 for Prime Minister, Chief Minister, MLA, Member of Legislative Assembly, and for Lok Sabha MP. 35 years for whom? President, Vice President, Governor. 30 years for Rajya Sabha MP and for Member of Legislative Council, that is MLC. Member of Legislative Council. Very good, guys. Very good. Well done. Okay. You remember the age limits which are there. 21 is for whom? Prime Minister 25 already I gave, no? 21 is for Sarpanch. "21 is for Sarpanch. Very good. Very good. Next. Done? Okay. Next. In case of vacancy of office to both president as well as vice president, which means that president's office is vacant, vice president is also vacant, then who will act as the president?
Chief Justice of India.
Very good. Chief Justice of India. Right. So who is the present Chief Justice of India? Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. Right. And one more important fact I will give it to you. His father, he's the son of Y.V. Chandrachud. This Y.V. Chandrachud is the longest serving Chief Justice of India. Longest serving Chief Justice of India. I think for more than 2000 days, he was the Chief Justice. Okay. So Y.V. Chandrachud, he was a former Chief Justice, his father. Now son is the Chief Justice. Okay. Yeah. Can you tell me who is Attorney General? I mean, not the person. What is the office of Attorney General? Attorney General is basically. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Sir,
Bharat.
MP Selvar.
Sorry? I did not understand what you're saying. Okay. No mind. So Attorney General is a government lawyer. No, MC Settleworth, he's the first Attorney General. Okay, so he's the first Attorney General of India. But my question is, who is he? So he's a lawyer of central government, of union government. Okay, so who is the present Attorney General? You tell me now. Who is the present Attorney General of India? Sorry, Attorney General for India. Of is not allowed to use, of course, for India. According to the Indian Constitution, it is for. Who is Attorney General for India? It is R. Venkataramani. R. Venkataramani. Present Attorney General for India. Right? Next. Double jeopardy. What is the meaning of double jeopardy? So I think I told you, no ex post facto, no double jeopardy. What is double jeopardy? No double punishment. Very good, Pratyusha. Well done. Right. So no person, sorry, I clicked on cannot be punished. Right. 2 times you cannot give punishment to anyone. Right. That is known as double jeopardy. So actually there is a small confusion in the question. Double jeopardy means double punishment. No double jeopardy is no double punishment. But here, what it is saying, double jeopardy is a person will be punished twice, but it is saying a person can be punished twice. So there is a little confusion in this question, but actually people who answered both 1 and 2, like either 1 or 2, both of them got the mark in the exam because the constitution says no double jeopardy, right? That is what. Yeah. Who is the first Chief Information Commissioner of India, right?
So
So
option 4.
Sorry?
Option 4 the answer, sir.
Very good, very good. Wajat Habibullah. So he is the first Chief Information Commissioner of India. Very good. Okay. So who is the present Chief Information Commissioner? Anybody?
Sir, Rituraj Ashwati.
Rituraj Avasti? No. Present. Anybody offline? So it is Hiralal Samaria. So he is the present Chief Information Commissioner of India. Next. What is the meaning of de novo? De novo. Nothing. So novo is to do something new. Okay. Novel innovation is new innovation. Right. So de novo is new. Okay. So de novo is new. Which of the following bodies is not set up by the Constitution of India? Not mentioned in the Constitution. What is that?
Option 4.
Option 2.
4.
4. Very good. National Human Rights Commission. Human Rights Commission is not a constitutional body. It is a statutory body. What is the meaning of statutory body? Established by law. Okay. Statutory body is established by law. And it is established by which law? Protection of Human Rights Act. Protection of Human Rights Act. Okay. So this is very important. Yeah, ordinary law. Very good. See, any law other than the Constitution is known as ordinary law. Okay. So other than, if it is not mentioned in the Constitution, it is not a constitutional body. Okay. That you have to remember. Next, 92. What is the maximum duration of a money bill in the Rajya Sabha? Right. So money bill under Article 110, it can be introduced only in Lok Sabha. Right. So any matter related to money, you have to place it in the parliament only in Lok Sabha. Right. That too with the prior, recommendation of president, and speaker will decide whether it is money bill or not. Speaker of Lok Sabha will tell you whether it is money bill or not. Only Lok Sabha can vote on money bill. In Rajya Sabha, they can only discuss on the money bill, and that too within a period of 14 days. Within 14 days, if Rajya Sabha is not taking any action on the money bill, then it is deemed that it is passed by both the houses. If Rajya Sabha is taking action and sending some recommendations, Lok Sabha might follow it or might not follow it. Right. But 14 days time period is given to Rajya Sabha to discuss on the money bill. In 14 days, if they are not taking action, it means that it is passed by them also. Okay. So Rajya Sabha has very less power when it comes to money matters or money bill. Okay. Very important question again. Next. Who for the first time put forth the idea of Constituent Assembly for India in 1934? If you are paying attention in my class, very good, very good, very good, guys. Ipsita and Dikshita, well done. M.N. Roy or Manavendra Nath Roy, right? So Manavendra Nath Roy, so he is the first person who has put forth the idea of Constituent Assembly in India. Well done, guys. Very good. Next. Now look at this question, which is very interesting again. Which committee was appointed to investigate the circumstances that warranted the declaration of emergency in 1975. You know that in 1975, emergency was declared in India, right? So after emergency, there was a committee which was formed to check why actually emergency was imposed. What committee is that? No.
Shaha Commission.
No, you pay attention here. Yes, Shah Commission. So why most of you are answering it as Sarkaria Commission? Because I discussed it in the class, but it is not related to emergency. It is related to center-state relations. Okay. Shah Commission is related to emergency. I'll tell you everything. Don't worry. Related to emergency to check why emergency was imposed. Sarkaria Commission is on center-state relations. Sarkaria Commission is on center-state relations. Now, what is this Nanavati Committee? Nanavati Committee was constituted in the year 2000 to look into anti-Sikh riots. Right. So riots are basically disturbances where people are hitting with the stones and all. So these anti-Sikh riots, they happened in the year 1984. Okay. So in 1984, what happened is that some innocent Sikh people, they were killed, in this anti-Sikh riots. Right. So to investigate into that thing, Nanavati Commission was constituted. Then what is this Khosla Commission? So Khosla Commission was constituted to look into the death of Subhash Chandra Bose. Even today, we don't have proper clarity as to how Subhash Chandra Bose died. Many theories are there, but that is what. So death of Subhash Chandra Bose was dealt by Khosla Commission. Okay, next. A person who is not a member of parliament can be appointed as a minister by the president for a period of
6 months.
Very good, excellent. So 6 months is the right answer. See, you are not a member of parliament. You are not a member of, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, but still you can become a minister. But within 6 months, you have to become a member. In 6 months, if you are not becoming a member, we will throw you out as a minister. As simple as that. Okay. 6 months is the right answer. Very good. Next. Fundamental rights were taken from which constitution? Very good. American Constitution, right? So in America, it is known as Bill of Rights. Okay. I'll ask you another question. What is the first document or first fundamental rights in the world? First set of rights, fundamental or not fundamental rights, any type of rights. Who issued first in the world, not in India?
USSR.
No, you are completely going opposite. USSR has no rights actually. They are only suppressing people.
France.
Very good, Soumya. Well done. Excellent. Very good. Very good. It is known as Magna Carta. I discussed it in Fundamental Rights chapter. Magna Carta was issued in 1215 AD by King John of England. In 1215, remember, at that time, there was no concept of, it is 1215. Okay. So in 1215 AD, King John of England issued some rights to his subjects, that is his citizens. But however, in 2 months, this Magna Carta was cancelled. That is a different thing altogether. But for the first time, rights were issued, in this thing that is known as Magna Carta. Okay. Next. The 44th Amendment Act of 1978. What did it do actually? Any guess? So what did it do? Very good, Ipsita. Well done. So deleted the fundamental right to acquire, hold, and dispose the property. Earlier, right to property was also a fundamental right under Article 31, but now it is not a fundamental right because we removed it as a fundamental right by enacting 44th Amendment Act in the year 1978. Okay, so this you have to remember. Who appoints the Attorney General for India? I don't know why Lawcet people who are making the paper, basic constitution, they should read. Why they are writing of India. Okay. Anyways, who appoints the Attorney General for India?
President of India.
Very good. It's very good. President of India is the right answer. Who is the President of India? Current President of India?
Draupadi Murmu.
Draupadi Murmu. Right. Very good. Who is the present CAG of India, CAG, Comptroller and Auditor General? Anybody in the class? So it is Girish Chandra Murmu. Right. So I discussed about it. I don't know if you remembered it or not. Next. Which of the following is entrusted with the statutory duty of laying down standards of professional conduct and etiquette for advocates in India? So statutory duty is a duty imposed by law. Statute is law. Okay. So which body is imposed with that duty?
Bar Council of India.
Very good. Bar Council of India is the right answer. In the exam, he gave the wrong answer. That is Bar Association of India. Last year, we challenged it in the paper, and those who have answered it as Bar Council of India, they got 1 mark. Okay. So Bar Council of India is the right answer. Can you just check if the question key is updated in the blue book? Question number 99 in the five-year 2023 question. Yeah, in the first paper only. Check once question number 99 whether it is updated or not. No, you look at the key, 99 key. No, not page number 99. First paper, 99th question. What it is given? Second. Yes. So we have corrected it in the previous paper booklet. Okay. So wrong answer, we did not give it over there. See, and another thing, whenever we are making the book, there might be some mistake in the key. If there is any mistake, you feel that there is a correction, you take the photo, post it in the doubt solving group. Right. If there is a real problem, we will address it over there. Right. Next, a person dying intestate means. I think I talked about it in family law. Very good. Very good, guys. So it is died without executing a will. What is a will? So will is basically a document where you will tell that my property should go to so and so person. In Telugu, it is known as Vilunama. Right. Without making a will, if you are dying, then that is known as dying intestate. Right. So that then the succession which happens through that is known as intestate succession, which means that without will, your successors, it might be your son or daughter, they will take away the property. Right. However, if you write a will, and according to that will, if the succession is taken, like let us say, for example, I am writing a will saying that my property should go to 4 of my sons, right? And some property should be given to one, orphanage which I am running. Okay. So in such case, this is given and this is also given. Now this is known as testamentary succession, because I wrote a testament, I wrote a will saying that this property has to go in so and so way. That is known as testamentary succession. By death, if succession is happening, succession is your successor is taking away the property, he's inheriting the property, right? So that is known as intestate and this is testamentary. So you have to remember this thing. Both the terms are very important. Next, debenture holders of a company are. So this
Creditor.
is very good, very good. Right. So who is a debenture holder? What is the meaning of debenture? Debenture is basically a debt instrument. Right. Now let us say, for example, I am the company and I need 1 crore rupees to construct this building, but I don't have money. So what I will do, I will issue a debenture bond, right? So what people will do, they will purchase the debenture bond. Let us say that I have issued debenture bonds worth 1 lakh rupees. Then 100 people will buy that debenture bond. I will get 1 crore. And what I have to do, I have to pay interest on that. As a company, I have to pay interest on that bond. So that debenture, what are they doing? They're giving loan to me and I'm paying interest to them. That is why they are my creditors, because they're giving credit to me, right? That is known as debenture. Now, if I change this thing to equity holders of a company are known as very good, well done. So it is known as owners, right? Or shareholders or whatever it is. What is the meaning of equity? Equity is ownership, right? So if I'm giving my ownership to 5 of the people, then they are the owners, right? So that's it. Next, apostasy. What is the meaning of apostasy? I think we discussed it as a ground for divorce and judicial separation when we were discussing family law chapter. So it is known as renunciation of religion, which means giving up on a religion, not conversion. Two terms are used. One is conversion and second one is apostasy. Conversion is you are converting into a religion. Apostasy is you are giving up on a religion completely. You're not following any other. Okay. So that both of them are sometimes by and large the same, because you are giving up on Hindu religion and you might join some other religion. That is a second step. Joining is a second step. But the moment you renounce, that is known as apostasy. Okay. This is a ground for divorce. Like if your husband or wife is giving up on religion, you can file for a divorce or judicial separation. Right. Next. Not necessarily, because in apostasy, he is renouncing on one religion, but later he might join some other religion. No? That is what. For the time being, he will be an atheist. That is what. A prerogative writ used to command a person or a public authority who is detaining in custody to produce that person before a court. So prerogative is a special writ, right? A writ which is issued to command a person or a public authority who is detaining another in custody, which means one person is kept in the custody, that is in the jail, and he is not submitted before the court. To submit him before the court, which writ will be issued? Habeas corpus. Habeas corpus is to present the body, right? So that is important again. Next. By which constitutional amendment act the voting age was reduced from 21 to 18 years? Earlier it was 21. Later it has come down to 18 by 61st Amendment Act of 1988. Very good, very good. Next. United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, is located, it is headquartered in which state? So it is headquartered in which state? It is in Geneva, Switzerland, right? Very good, guys. Very good. Well done. So when was the first conference of this United Nations Convention on Conference on Trade and Development was held? In 1964. Right. So here, the primary purpose of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development is to promote developing countries in trade, right? So in international trade, right? Developing countries are those countries which are not developed, right? For them, this will be promoted. Next. Which High Court exercises jurisdiction over Lakshadweep? Everybody should answer. Lakshadweep, Kerala, Andaman and Nicobar, Calcutta High Court, Lakshadweep, Kerala High Court. Very good, guys. Very good. Well done. Next. CEDAW is the acronym of, it is acronym of Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. Right. Convention is basically a treaty, an agreement which is made. And this particular, convention was adopted in which year? In 1979. This is also known as International Women's Bill of Rights. So in America, Bill of Rights are basically fundamental rights. So this convention is known as Women's Bill of Rights or International Women's Bill of Rights, to be very specific, right? So this is again important. Yeah. Whoever commits or conspires to commit cyber terrorism shall be punishable with imprisonment, which may extend to how many years under the Information Technology Act? Okay, Ipsita, you got it right. Imprisonment for life. Okay, So for your entire life, you will be in the jail if you are committing cyber terrorism. Next. The high courts in India does not possess advisory jurisdiction. Advisory jurisdiction is only given to the Supreme Court under Article 143. Now, what is advisory jurisdiction? Whenever President has any doubt, President will knock the door of Supreme Court and he will tell that, dear Supreme Court, I have this doubt. Then what Supreme Court will do? Supreme Court will give its advice to the President. And the advice given by the President, Supreme Court to the President is not binding on him, which means that if he wants, he can follow. If he don't want, he cannot follow also. Right? That is one thing. Original jurisdiction, we have what is original jurisdiction? Directly, you can go and file case in the High Court. In certain cases, you can do it. Appellate jurisdiction, yes, it is there. Appellate is you are appealing from lower court to higher court. First, in the lower court, you'll file a case. Not satisfied, you'll go to the High Court. Revisory jurisdiction is a jurisdiction which is there on the High Court, where High Court will review the judgments which are passed by the lower court, especially if it is exceeding its power, especially if it is a serious constitutional matter. Then this particular High Court will review it. So revisory jurisdiction is there. Advisory jurisdiction is not there to the High Court. It is there only to the Supreme Court. What is the name of the first Chief Justice of India? Any answer? Very good, Dikshita. Well done. H.J. Kania is the right answer. So he's the first Chief Justice of India. Who is the present Chief Justice of India? Present is Justice Chandrachud. You have to remember this particular. Very good. So next, what we have is that we have certain passages. Okay, two passages are there. You have to read the passage and you have to give me the right answer. So what I will do is, I will give this as homework. So after going home, you open that blue book. In the blue book, passages are there. If you're online, you open the previous question paper. You'll find these questions, find the passage, go through the questions, mark it, and you send me the score. Okay, how much you have scored is along with the key, right? So key and score, you send it to me. On I'll share the Google form. You fill it in the Google form. Okay, or you just inform in the doubts. This all nonsense is not required. You just inform in the group that homework is done. Right. In the doubt solving group, you just update me that homework is done. And if you have any doubt in that, we will discuss passages also. Don't worry. So passages, all passages, I'm trying to keep it in one class. So we'll do that. For now, you take passages as homework, read it, try to answer them, and come back with the answers to me tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow, Rajesh sir will be taking the class. Okay. Yes. Ipsita, this is 2023. 2023 paper, very recent paper, first paper in the book. Just give me this book. See, you open the book. This is for first paper I am discussing today. I am done with the first paper, the legal part of first paper. I am done. Till page number 10, I have discussed. Okay. You do it. The passage is there. I'll give you the page number also. Page number 9, the passages are there. Okay. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow Rajesh sir will be coming. I'll check the homework tomorrow. Okay. Bye-bye.